and action. How's it going, everybody? How's it going, YouTube? DMTombstone Belts back here again with a brand new video. Well, brand new episode of. Brand new episode of DMTombstone Live. It's episode 85. And before I continue on, let's just let you know, DMTombstone Live, anything that happens is unsanctioned, uncensored, and it'll happen just as long as we keep it family friendly as possible. Yeah, so let's just get started on what I've been doing. As far as you guys know, I'm still working on this championship. I'm almost done. And once I get it all stitched up and ready to go, I eventually got to get the snaps on, get the gold tip. Well, I'm going to probably do the puff paint around the stitches and the edges. And then I'm going to glue then I'm going to try to get the gold tip on the end here. And I believe do my little traditional stamp on the side with the snaps. And then I think this should be done. But yeah, I'm still constantly keeping up and waiting for my stuff coming in the mail. I should also need to message Hassan's Belts because he did say he shipped out my order, so I gotta see if he got a tracking number or that for the order or something like that. So at least I know when to expect it. So yeah, I'm gonna do this for a little bit, but yeah. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm gonna probably do this for like a month long, all the way at least to the 30th when I go back to work, supposedly. But just keep you guys updated here today or tomorrow, depending on how fast I work on this championship. Because I've done a lot yesterday. Now the fact that I'm stitching the backing on this. Andreas, hi Andreas, how are you? Thank you for being a part of this. Make sure if you're joining me, if you like what I'm doing on the live stream, make sure you hit the like. Sorry. If you're new to the chat, if you're new to my live stream, you want to see what I'm all about, like these bad boys behind me, check out my main channel of the 420 some videos I do. Some of them involved with these belts. And like, share them, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Hayden, hi Hayden, how are you? Let me see some of the names. GBR not Bannon. Hi, how are you? The Annoying Earthworm. Hi. Funny names I see for those type of people. An annoying Earthworm. Well, it can't be that annoying when you become fish bait. I mean, I haven't fished in a while. Two, I don't even know. And two, nowadays I gotta spend money just to have a license to fish. Ain't that annoying? Wow, a lot of likes already. Thank you all so much. So yeah, Like I said, the updates we keep continuously going on. The back wall from SSS Mine. Yeah, that's just some of the stuff I own. You guys reach. Hold on. What's that say? Alexis Slace Jalapa. If I mispronounce your names, I do apologize. Yeah, but like I said, what you see in the background is just partial of my collection. I mean, if you, I got a lot of them, including the most recent one I have, this bad boy, known as the Hogan 85. And yeah, I had to do a bit of a touch up on this one because when I got it in the mail, if you see my video on it, the banners were not painted in black. The letters were. I had to get Jasco paint remover, remove the lettering off the words, and then have to repaint the banners myself in black. It looked closer like it was supposed to be is like a hybrid of the 84 and 85, which are technically the exact same belt, except I think the 84 there was no painted in. The banners, the letters were in red, and this floral design up here where the WWF logo was, that wasn't there in the original. And the side plates didn't have gold plate painting in them. It was just plain silver. But yeah, I gotta say I do have a great big collection of belts. Being my I think now 44. Yeah, 44 belts I have in this room. This, including those like 7 and 8 you see in the background. I mean, if I have to go, sorry. Oh, that's all right. But if you see, if I turn the camera just slowly, you can see here, right by my door, the display case full of other championships, including my tag belts, where the blue one was signed by both the Hardy Boys. And if we go by the front and we go to my door, right here next to the TV, Hassan, 2 belts made by Hassan's Belts, my big green belt, and of course the 1991 through 94 WCW World Heavyweight. And on the other side of the TV, I have, on the other side of this TV, my WWE United Kingdom belt and cruiserweight title, but as well, that's right next to all my homemade belts. Now, obviously, I don't turn too much towards this way because the window's right there, and many times it's so bright you can't barely see. But yeah, near the corner there, you got the WCW TV title and the WCW Tag title. I'm just gonna quickly turn the camera off from the window, where you can see there's my Money in the Bank briefcase. Excited for Money in the Bank I think coming Saturday. My WCW and WWE United States, and of course both Oval IC and the Classic IC. And right here are my hardcore title, the Figs Inc. The Figs Inc. Spinner, US Spinner, and the WWE 24/7 title. But not including the belts I have on the bed that Stitch is guarding, right, Stitch? Yeah, so yeah, I do have a lot of belts. Just some places I need to. I mean, lucky enough, I put enough space on walls so I don't have them all on the floor. I mean, I used to have a ton of these belts on the floor. I mean, a couple of the NXT belts on the other side of the bed on the floor because I didn't have space. And then I decided to put more up on the wall, move some belts around to get some more space. And now at least a lot of them are fitting. But perhaps if I move some of these pictures closer together in the center, I could have more room for more belts on the wall. Who knows? But all a good time. I know some of you are probably wondering, am I ever going to stop collecting homemade belts? Or am I ever going to stop collecting belts? I mean, collecting homemade belts. I mean, most of the homemade belts I do collect are the ones I made, including this one, which is going to be a great belt once I review it or fully get it done. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the closest you get to see the belt. And then when I put snaps in on that, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to show it off until I do the video of it. And but yeah, I would say once I get this belt done, and I'm going to do a review of it, and then I'm going to do a video probably after that, which is going to be related to the 700 subscriber belt giveaway. Yeah, you guys see, I've done a lot of, I did two versions of the how-to series of doing these belts, and I've still been doing them the exact same way on my how-to series, just a little bit changing up. From using the old style gold tape that I did for those belts to the reflective mirror tape I get now at the local hobby shop, and new style of how I use the puff paint for design wise, and added new looks to make them look more realistic to the belts, and now adding curves to the belt to the plates. I have really advanced a lot in my skills of making homemade belts. Don't worry, guys. That's just cranberry juice. I'm not drinking any alcohol, and so don't worry about the hiccups. It's not because I'm drunk. In fact, I don't drink. It's been a while since I drank any alcohol, and some of you may believe it, some of you may not. But those who think I'm telling them the truth, well, I humbly thank you and being kind. And some that don't believe me, well, you're not here to see the truth. Yeah, when it's funny because now when I think about it, seeing a lot of what they're doing with John Cena. John Cena is like the modern day Hulk Hogan, and there's nobody else that's like been in that spot like how it was with Hogan and Cena. Maybe closest to it would have been like Roman Reigns, but I don't know even he is like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably do this for about half an hour, and then I'm probably gonna stop the stream, and then I'm gonna continue to finish off what I got on the string here to stitch up the backing, and maybe take a little break. Maybe go down to my the pool there in my area. Go for a little swim. After all, it is kind of hot out today, so yeah, definitely. Oh. Yeah. Just watching a bit of WrestleMania 37. Getting close now to almost fully watching all the WrestleManias from like I don't know, like 12 to now. Obviously not gonna rewatch 41 since that was just I've already seen that one. Yeah, if everybody remembered that pandemic era, yeah, that was quite a thing for the time of WWE. But yeah. So for and Dave, if you're watching this live stream, make sure you at least try to leave a comment below as well, so I can answer anything. Hey, you guys got any questions for me or want to know what I'm all about? Don't be afraid to leave a comment below in the streams. Yeah, like I said, I've done a lot for this belt, the championship here. And I'm going to describe more about it once I do the full review of it on my channel. I better be careful when I'm grabbing that because some of the paint on some of the puff. I just added new puff paint near the snap box area, so I don't want to get that all over the place. Wow, 6 likes. Thank you guys so much. I mean, maybe there's 7 because sometimes YouTube doesn't want to show off all the likes on my video when I do a live stream for some reason. But yeah, so far I've lost 2 subscribers. I don't know why. Sometimes people subscribe and sometimes they unsubscribe. I don't know why. But it's like you subscribe in the first place, you should know exactly what my channel's about. Whatever. Not really bothered by it. Oh, must be. Oh. Yeah, that's another thing too when you're doing stuff like this. If you have to sneeze or anything like that, best bet stop what you're doing because God forbid any bit of distraction could lead to a problem or mostly to pain because once you're distracted when you're holding a sewing needle, if you're not looking, eventually you may end up poking yourself with it and you start to have little punctures in your skin and you start to bleed. And believe me, I had dealt with that many times. Yeah, one time I was trying to stitch something, the needle slipped out of my hands. I'm looking for it, and it actually went into my heel. Let's say about this much of the needle, which you guys can see, this much of the needle was in my heel. I'm surprised it wasn't touching the bone. And I had to slowly pull that out. It was painful. I'd rather be slammed on thumbtacks, which I have done before many times. I'd rather been slammed on thumbtacks all over my back than deal with a one needle nearly an inch and a half deep into my foot. Okay, now that is just a plain lie, Michael Cole. Dude, you to be a Hall of Famer, you have to have held a WWE Championship. Jerry Lawler never held a WWE Championship. Mean Gene never did. Um, let's see who else. Most of the members of DX never held a WWE Championship, except Shawn and Triple H. Uh, Mark Henry never held a WWE Championship. I mean, he held a World Heavyweight Championship. Well, technically, I think that still counts. So, what? Well, uh, who else? Known in the Hall of Fame, like Fisher Abdullah the Butcher. Most of they said like, to be in the Hall of Fame, not to hold the WWE Championship. I think Michael Cole just was speaking out of his ass on that one. But yeah, I mean Dusty Rhodes. He's a world champion, but he never held the WWE Championship. Man. And I said as well when I the most draining. I mean, the most thing that takes forever for me when it comes to doing these belts, other than gluing and stitching the plates on, it's mostly stitching the backing on because there's a lot of area to do stitches, and I gotta do tiny stitches to make sure there's no gaps and holes in between the from the backing to the front part of the strap. Just because the fact is, I'm going from one end of the belt all around to back again, and many times I have to use multiple strings, not just one string, and gotta do it. And that's to pull the string out all the way, or else. And worst part, many times when you end up getting knots in the string, and that sucks because many times you gotta try your best to either get that knot out, or you may just have to. If it's small enough, you may just have to try to pull it through without risk breaking the string. Because once you break the string, it's over. You have to get another and have to get a new string and start all over again. Or many times they like say the worst case scenario when I did this, I did one where I started from the beginning of the strap and got about almost like over halfway through, and then the string broke. And I started removing the string out of it to start all over again. It was until I at least try to find ways now to where I could where I have to use like the needle to pretty much like pry the string through the last stitch loop and tie knots in it to keep it secure, and then just start from there. Because usually most times I try to use super glue to keep it stuck there, but many times it just felt weird because some dry, really like glue dried, like using super glue on the strings, it makes it feel like it was like hard as like plastic or something, feel all scratchy and shit, and it doesn't feel right. So many times now I just try to use the broken piece of string and stitch it through the last loop I done and tie a knot onto it and just continue from there. Speaking of which, when I tie like the end that has a knot into it that usually keep it from the string to unravel and then just slip through the hole, you want if you are doing like how I do it, you first start with the you first want to put it in this part of the backing of the strap. You don't want to have it to where it's revealing, so you do it with the inner layers and to where you can actually get able to hide the knot and tuck it into the strap, and then stitch over it to keep it sealed. And next thing you don't see the knots or anything like that, and it almost makes it look like it's a one piece, like you didn't stitch the belt on, unless it's a belt that requires that has a recommendation or has the look of it with stitches, like the World Heavyweight belt, like the new one where it has the designer, the way it look like it has stitches, unless they give it a new strap that took the stitching out of it. But I mean, this is what I say, like my re-leathered World Heavyweight belt here. It's got stitching all around the sides of it, which also is on the stock strap. But I got on the re-leather strap because the real belt had stitching on it. Speaking of, I am talking to Rana Munib because he also offers send out straps, and I'm looking forward to getting a send out strap for my other belts, and they are great prices because many times it's like I want to give people a chance. He does great for the belts like the Hogan 85 I got from him, and it is great quality leather he's got. So I want to see what he does for send out straps because if he is good, I may stick with him in it too if he is cheap and quick. Because many times I go into like Ryan Richards from Northern Image Leathers. You've seen from my Blue Universal. And there's bear skull leather. His is a little bit stiff on the stiffer side. So many times when I try to mess with it with the red Universal, it almost has like a squeak type of feel. Not real flexible, but it's still leather. It's just more like a stiff leather. And of course, rock leather design took me. I never want to go to that people again. I mean, it's great leather and it's great quality and screen accurate leather. Because most people, when they get send outs, they are not allowed to have the WWE logos on them because, after all, it's copyright reasons. And then again, you have to spend maybe a couple $100 more just to get the leather on to make the logo on the damn thing. But Rock Leather Design, it took me a whole year just to get that belt strap. And when it did come, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was happy to get it. And that accurate, TV accurate Velcro strap. But yeah, but then I go to like Ryan Richards within a month or so, got his strap, and his is still probably the best quality send out strap I got. Then there's Bear Skull, close, but just it feels a little stiff. And had to do little altercations on the strap on there because too some of the plates, I mean some of the holes was just not the right, were not set properly for the belt. Right about halfway past the main plate on this belt now with the stitches. And I hopefully I got enough puff paint to try to cover up the stitching with the paint to make it look more like a beveled edge or something like that. Yeah. Wow, already past 30 minutes. Well, tell you what, I'm gonna end this stream right now. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this stream, and thank you all for the likes and the comments. Make sure you like and stream if you are here, and if you're new to my channel, you want to see what I'm all about, see my recent videos, especially about those. Check out my main channel. I got like 427 videos of the stuff I do, and like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Let's try to see if I can get to 800, guys. And that's all because it's all through the help of you guys to help me get to 800. Also, follow me on my social media, like on X at DMTombstone96, and on Instagram at DME96, where I will be hopefully soon post pics there of this belt before I do stuff on YouTube. As well, follow me on, or no, also shout outs to my friends like Dex from I Am Dex TV, who helped me get into this live stream and stuff. He does live streams as well. Most stuff involving music. That's Dex, I think DEX or I Am Dex TV. And of course, my buddy Stephen Hammer, STEPHEN Hammer. He does belt reviews as well. So anyway, I'm DM Tombstone Belts, and for DM Tombstone Live, signing out. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.